Coach Hyde from Savannah State University. What we're going to talk about right now is a power clean technique. First thing you got to get right in power clean is the stance. I have my athlete approach the bar. What I want to do is make sure that the bar is as close to my shins as possible. I want to put my shoelaces, I want the bar to cover my shoelaces. From there, once I get in good stance, I'm going to make sure my feet are shoulder width apart. I want to squat down to the bar. This helps me maintain proper back alignment, making sure that my hips are in the proper place. So notice that his hips are higher than his knee. The bar is close to his shins. Feet are flat on the ground, pointing forward to slightly outward. Shoulders are in advance of the bar. Head is up. This is a good position, good powerful position for the first pull of the power clean. All right, from the stance, the first pull right above my knee. That's going to stand up, drive through the ground. What I want to do, I want to make sure that when I stand up, my shoulders and my hips come up at the same angle. I don't want my hips to rise up before my shoulders do. If my hips rise up before my shoulders, the stress is going to go to my lower back and not my legs. And I want to use my legs to get that first pull off the ground. I want to make sure that pull is strong. Most of my exposure is going to come after I get the bar up past my knee. That's when I'm going to explode up from that point. But the first pull, I want to make sure it's a good strong pull from the ground. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is the triple extension. Once I've gotten that bar past my knees, I need to come to triple extension. Just, my ankles are fully extended, knees are extended, hips are extended. Again, I want to brush that bar against my thigh. I want to keep that bar closed. As I bring my hips up and forward into the bar, I want to shrug at the same time. So it's simultaneously, it's one action. You know what I'm saying? Again, make sure that bar stays close to me, brush it off my thigh. I don't want to bounce it outwards. I want to bring it straight up. Everything's coming straight up from the ground. Again, good position with my shoulders, with my hips, and make sure that my head is up. All right, after the weight has brushed my thigh and I've done that triple extension, I've got my shrug action going. From there, I'm going to pull the bar up, keeping the bar close to my body. I don't want to fling it out here. Pull it straight up as if in an upright row in a high pull type of position. So I brush that thigh, get that shrug, and I'm coming to the high pull. Once I get the bar to around my chest, I'm pulling myself up under the bar and shoot my elbows as fast as possible. And he's going to demonstrate that from the hang position. He was demonstrating it from the part where he's already brushed the thigh. He's going to give you the shrug, shooting his elbows as quick as possible. Right. Notice the elbows are high. Gotta have good high elbows. The weight is on my shoulders. I have to get the weight on my shoulders. The only way I can do heavy weight is if I get those elbows high, let that weight rest on my shoulders. The typical progression that we use to teach the power clean is teaching it from the mid-thigh, the hang clean from the mid-thigh to above the knee, to below the knee, then down to the ground to do one power clean. Now, all those steps that we just talked about, I'm going to make it in one smooth movement. First pull, the second pull, good power, shrug, pull myself under the bar, shoot my elbows through, and getting it high and catching the catch phase. He's going to demonstrate the whole leg put together. Again, good feet position, get my knees correctly aligned, bars over my shoelaces, shoulders in advance of the bar, elbows pointed out, arms straight, butt is down, butt is above my knees, shoulders and butt are at a good angle, my back is neutral, head is up. Again, good catch, elbows are high. All right, now we're going to talk about bench press technique. Very basic exercise to some people. For other people, it can be more complex if you don't have the right technique. First thing you want to do is position yourself correctly on the bench. You want your feet flat on the ground, lay back. I want to retract my shoulders. Retract my shoulders. Got my traps in my upper back, my shoulders on the bench. My shoulders are on the bench, pulled together. My chest is big, have a slight arch in my back. Some prefer a big arch, others small arch. I like to do a slight arch. Slight arch in my back. From there, I want to go to my hand position. I try to keep it real simple with my athletes. Tell them to space their hands off the smooth of the bar. It's very simple. I got the smooth and I have the rub. So space their hands off the smooth of the bar. You can go one thumb length from the smooth, or space it out to about 1 inch wide based on that athlete's preference. Don't want to go too wide and put the stress on the chest, or too tight and put all the stress on the triceps. I want to get a good grip. Also want to make sure that the bar is not too far behind me, or that I'm not too far up under the bar, because I don't want that bar to come out and I either hitting it way down here or too far above my nipples. My target point when I blow that bar is going to be right about my nipples. All right, see the lift off. Notice the hand grip, the hands are closed. Go down. Pay attention to his target point. Elbows are straight up and down in line with the wrist. Bar is landing right about his nipples. Drive up. Drive straight up. Drive straight up doesn't drive in front of him. It might also be a slight arch angle going backwards. But to drive straight up, make sure my wrist and my elbows are in a straight line. One more. Drive up. Again, keep my head flat on the bench. Slight arch in my back. Feet are flat on the ground, driving through the ground. All right, the final lift we're going to talk about is the squat. First step in the squat, I get my hands properly spaced on the bar. I want to make sure that I'm centered on the bar to start off. But I want to put the bar on my back and the bar is shifted to the left or shifted to the right. I want to make sure that I got good center position. I want to space my hands wider than shoulder width apart. Get a good grip. Don't want it way out here. Want to make sure it's right here, good shoulder width, wider than shoulder width grip. Make sure that my thumb is wrapped around the bar. Everything that we do, all the lifts, wrap that thumb around the bar. Get that, those traps should be pressing into the bar. Again, my back is retracted, pressing into the bar. Get a good position, get a firm good position, and get a lift off. From there, squat technique, I'm going to keep my head up. Head is up. Elbows are forward, they're not pointing back. Elbows are going straight up and down. So when I squat down, my elbows should remain straight up and down, squatting down. Again, the feet position. I want to have my feet about shoulder width apart. Shoulder width apart, toes pointed straight ahead to slightly outward. Depends on the athlete as far as the width. I like to tell some of my guys that have problem getting parallel to widen their base a little bit, point the toes slightly outward. It helps for some of them. But a good base, shoulder width apart, toes pointed forward to slightly outwards. From there, I want to squat down. The movement initiates with my hips and not my knees. My hips come out and back. It's like I'm sitting down in a chair. I want to squat down to parallel. I want to get good depth up. I want to get good depth when I squat down. Again, sit back like I'm sitting in a chair. It's very simple, an easy coaching cue. Tell them to sit in the chair. I want to make sure that my knees don't buckle inward when I come up. If I have a guy that has that problem, I tend to tell them to press their knees out to make sure that the knees don't buckle inward or just to spread their legs. So make sure I got good foot position. When I squat down, keep my chest up, keep my head up, keep my back tight. Don't want to lean forward, don't want to let the bar roll forward on my neck. I want to keep my chest up, keep my back tight, hips come down and back as if I'm sitting in a chair, driving up through the ground, make sure my feet are firmly planted on the ground and the weight is evenly distributed on my feet on the ground. Give me one good one.